I'm sorry, I didn't realize that we were running behind here, but let me just give you the areas that, because I do want to go through the homework assignment, that you could take a look on. You know, we talked about charges for services. I think here, what's netted against the expenses, fines and forfeits, I think you understand these, miscellaneous revenues. Talk about appropriations and expenditures. I don't think this is new. Hopefully you've got it. Okay, if you don't, let me know, but we'll continue here because I want to get to the journal entry. By the way, this discussion on classification of expenditures and appropriations is for when you design a computerized accounting system for an organization. See the different subclasses of accounts here. Fund, which is what? General fund, special revenue fund, debt service fund. Function or program could be what? You know, public safety, for instance. Organizational unit could be the police department. Activity could be the guy or gal who's out on patrol, right? And character could be each one of those categories. And object is the real account. See how many things you can drill down to? So this has a very unique structure. So I want you to take a look at this, okay? Because that's how this is used in actual practice. All right, this is what I wanted to just quickly go over. At the start of the year to record the budget. Notice revenues are what? More than appropriations, which allows for what? Fund balance. Got it? And this is how the revenues are distributed. Revenues, and these are the budgets for each one of those. Okay? Everybody got that? Okay. We went through an example of it before. Okay. Encumbrance. Decided to buy something for $500. We debited encumbrance and encumbrance outstanding of $500. Okay. What happens when we receive the item? You cancel it, right? You do this, you debit this and credit this. That takes care of that. And then what do? You recognize an expenditure for the correct amount. Those two journal entries, don't ever forget. Okay? That's how you would typically do this. By the way, do you do encumbrances for payroll? No. And we'll talk about this later. But this is for ordering items such as, you know, whatever the government has to a PO system where you might have to use it. Okay. And I gave you the example of this before we looked at this. The accounting for allotments, you know what all this says is, remember I told you there was a control? If you had budget authority for $1 million, you always wanted to make sure you didn't spend over $1 million. Now somebody comes up and says, you know what? Not only do I want that control, but I want a control which says you can't spend more than $250,000 for every 3 months. So what is an allotment? It's a further restriction which says you can only spend so much for a period of time. Why? Because you don't want somebody to blow away the entire $1 million in the first month. By using allotment, what does it do? It allows you to control it for a period of time. And that's what all it is. It really is. Okay. And we talked a little bit about computerized accounting systems.